for that. And if you have any issues when it comes to college, like trying to afford it, grants, anything like that, scholarships, they're there to help you. So these centers are all over the place. It's just a lot of young people don't know about them. But here at Brotherhood Crusade, you could definitely apply. I'll leave my email in the chat. And just come see me, come check in. Now, our slots for this WIOA opportunity are already out until July 1. But I would love to just meet you all individually or as a group just to get you enrolled so we can have those, because we get about 200 slots starting every July, and they get filled up really, really quick. I've always promised Kevin I would always reserve some slots for him. But again, this year has just been a lot of chaos happening that have my full focus has been on them. But I know in the summertime, we can definitely get some funding specifically for you all. And if I don't have the funding for you, I can connect you with another center that has those extra slots, and you can get the same type of stuff for you. So look forward to talking to you all. Kevin, I love this project. I love this hard apprenticeship. I've always looked for something like this because the entertainment space is so hard to hit. And me being a job coach, I've tried to hit the entertainment space, but it's just been so difficult. That's why I love having partners like Kevin, partners like Chris to assist me in making sure that you all get what that passion project is that you want to succeed. So I'm gonna leave my email in the chat. Kevin, thank you for giving me some time to talk. I don't want to take up too much of y'all time, but please reach out to me. Again, our new slots open up July 1.
I have a question, Leo.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is there an age limit as well?
Great question. So for WIOA, it is 18 to 24, but now Brotherhood Crusade, we go up to age 29. We have a contract and relationships with the Department of Labor that have had us increase there. But like I said, there's other centers that aren't just youth. There are adult source centers that I can connect you with and tell them the game plan. As long as I bring you in with a game plan, then we should be okay. And the age is to 80, 100. So as long as we have a game plan, I can submit you to another center. So we're on the youth center side, and luckily because of our relationships, we were able to go up to age 29. Now, anybody past that age, I have to direct you to a work source center and see what kind of funding and opportunities they have for you in that space.
So
But
real
again,
quick,
go ahead.
yeah, Leah. So if I were to, let's just say if I was interested in something like that, if I were to reach out via email, is that something I could ask you about?
Of course you can. Always reach out to me. I'm a great resource to have. Just
Thank you
reach
so
out
much. I
to me,
appreciate that.
ask a question. I'll give you 15 minutes, whatever it is you need, and I'll make sure I direct you in the right path.
Great. And Leo, can you put your email, or did you put it already in the chat?
I did. It's lhill@brotherhoodcrusade.org. Again, my name is Leo Hill.
I don't know why, but I don't see it.
Okay.
I don't see it either.
It went to my AI. What the heck? All right, hold on. I'm gonna make sure I put it in this thing. Okay, how do I do this? I don't know what's going on. It doesn't say like
the little blue
everybody.
thing and the two, you have to make
Yeah,
sure.
I got it, but it doesn't say like everybody. It just says, Kevin, I'm gonna send it to you, and then you just send it to. I don't know why I can't see the chat.
L Hill at Brotherhood Crusade.
Yep, lhill@brotherhoodcrusade.org. I'm gonna send it to Kevin, and maybe he can send it to the chat. I don't know why I can't send it
Yeah,
to the whole.
I'll send it out before we
But
finish.
he has Kevin has all my information.
I have it. So I'll make sure that we get it. Leo, if you can hold on for a few minutes, because there's a couple of people. I don't know how much time you have, but a couple of
I
people.
got till 12, so
okay. The couple of people I want to introduce that you may have not met yet, but
okay.
I want to introduce everybody to a person who's been a friend of the program, a friend of mine, also a mentor of mine. He is the person I call the last mile of employment and entertainment. He's the person who eventually I would like everybody to be able to submit themselves for qualification to even get an interview with. Because that's what I think everybody's going to have to get real about, is how do we submit ourselves to a process where people who don't know us, don't like us, will see us as talent, but also see us as human beings, that they can actually say, hey, I'm a pretty sharp individual. And I think some of the things that I would like to see, not just in soft skills, but hard skills, will help us get better in handling our day-to-day issues living here in South LA or in LA. Cost of living, just life in general, it's tough. So I'm asking him to spend some time. He spent some time before, but I'm asking him to spend some time just talking about how do we get you guys closer to the standards that he has to have in order for him to recommend anybody for employment in the entertainment industry. So without further ado, I want to introduce Ted Milner.
Hello, everyone. You guys are going to have to forgive me because I've been waiting on this call all morning long, and they call right when I'm on.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, hey, no, hey, it's money, man. Take your call, and if you can't, come back to us, okay? And I'm going to introduce a couple of other people.
Kevin, what was his name again?
Ted Milner, executive pimps, and Leo, he is the secret weapon. He and his wife.
I need secret weapons.
Yeah, he and his wife run the HBCU in LA program. So you have a lot of HBCU students, including Keon.
Oh yeah, tons.
But they place more people in the entertainment industry in positions to work and run people's desks, who are the gatekeepers, the film producers, the street, just the showrunners, everybody who makes decisions. He employs people to work their desk.
And they need to be at HBCU. I know I'll get on a phone call with them later. I just want to make sure I get all the information.
Yeah, if Ted can, I guess if he comes back in before 12, I would like to have you guys talk, because this is my greatest wish, is to link all the programs up with one to another.
Okay.
And that's one of the things that I want you guys to understand, that may be different about Dakar and our partnerships, is that we're open source. There's a lot of people trying to do what we're doing, which is to get people into economic, stability. And everybody might have a different way of doing it, but our way is to be open source and to partner with people who are not competition for us, but are people that we can learn from and we can get better at. And so I want to be able to connect, anybody who has that energy and wants to see our people doing well. And I don't know that we've actually had any data or statistics to show that any people going through the programs or anybody going through the apprenticeship have actually gotten a W-2 job. So we're going to hold ourselves to that standard by showing.
Kevin, if I could jump in real quick while they have me on hold.
Okay.
Please forgive me, guys. I don't normally operate like this, but I've been waiting on this call since Friday, and it's critical to what I'm doing. Is Leo gone already?
No, Leo's still here.
I'm here. I think I met you at the Sony event. Were you there?
Yeah,
he was.
I was there.
Okay, cool.
So, I in addition to the things that Kevin's been talking about, I'm persuaded that there's room for all of us. I mean, we're facing really challenging times with this administration. We're facing challenging times within the industry. I've never seen it like this. But what I've seen when we had crisis in the industry is when it starts to rebound, there's a lot of room, but there's a lot of people who exit. So I would encourage everyone to, even though it's difficult right now and you may not be working and doing the things you want to do, if you could just, keep your peace, even if you have to work outside of your field of desire or field of study, do so to maintain yourself, because it's going to rebound, it's going to change. And you want to be there when that happens. So, I've seen it happen, and I think there's a space for us, particularly as a people of color, that we haven't seen, that powers are trying to hold us back from obtaining and entering into. We got a taste of that right after George Floyd's death, but it can't hold us back. And the only thing we need to do is stay consistent in pursuing, but it will change. My desire is that when it does change, that we're ready. And there's a lot of things that I've seen over the years that people, they lose the jobs that are meant for them, and then they blame it on God that he didn't have it for them in the first place. But the reality is their interviews are all about them, and they're not about the employer. The employer is hiring for their need, and people are interviewing for their goals. So I try to get people focused on how to interview, what people want to hear from you, what they don't need to hear from you, the questions you don't need to ask today that you may ask on the second or third interview. So My wife wrote a book on how to leverage a career within the industry. It's probably one of the most powerful books on being employed within the industry. It's more from administrative position, but we Disney, ABC, Warner Brothers, Paramount, DreamWorks, CAA, William Morris, we serviced all of those studios and networks at one time or another. So, I have a little experience in it, but the greatest thing that I've learned is that there's a space for us and there's a culture in the industry. What is that culture like and how do I flow with that culture? And it's critical. Once you get in, you can do your thing. But if you want to be hired with them, you got to flow with how they flow. And a big part of that is listening during the interviews. So, Kevin,
Right.
thank you.
Okay, and again, thank you, Ted. I'm going to give your time back if you can stay on for as long as you can. I want to introduce a person that she didn't know that she was going to speak, and I don't know if she can. But Mariah, if you can we see your face, and can you open up and just say a bit about yourself and what you're doing right now, and maybe even where you came from?
Mariah.
See, she's gotten too big for us, okay? But she showed up.
All right, she got in the chat that she's at work
No,
right
no,
now, and
no,
give her a
no, 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 no,
second.
no.
Give her a second.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Can
I,
we see your face
I
for a
am.
second, Brown?
I
Okay,
am kind of. I am kind of on the other call, kind of muted that way.
okay,
Um,
okay,
just
okay.
br just briefly.
Okay. Okay.
What are
So
you requesting?
I want to introduce Mariah. If you can, just introduce what you're currently working on and kind of where
Okay.
you come from.
And hi, Leo. Hi, Shane. Good to see you guys. Um, and also other unfamiliar faces. Thanks, Kevin, for inviting me. So currently I am in cybersecurity. I was a part of the CARS Foundation Apprenticeship Program. I graduated at the Scan Kickoff event in November 2023. I now work at PNNL Pacific Northwest National Laboratory as a cybersecurity and nuclear systems researcher. And technically, what I'm doing is kind of just assessing and analyzing the cybersecurity threat landscape on operational technology that will be integrated into advanced nuclear reactors. And what that does is nuclear reactors are hardware and software devices that kind of controls and manages industrial processes and industrial and control environments. And I'm kind of in control of just protecting the energy grid, right? The power grid and making sure that I provide mitigation or recommendations for to mitigate, not have cyber attacks kind of destroy or compromise certain the energy sector right now. This is phenomenal job. I know when I was with Kevin, I was learning more so about like photography, videography, stuff like that. But it still kind of gave me a stepping stool to see if that was something I wanted to kind of pursue. I was still exposed to other things, and that's what I really, really appreciate about Kevin and gave me the opportunity to do so. So I just want to say, you guys that is a part of this apprenticeship or looking forward to being a part of it. Just make sure that you guys are really taking advantage of this wonderful opportunity because you guys can really this program can just provide you with any practical learning experience, and it provides you with a great environment to gain any industry knowledge that you can. Um, and Kevin is the most wonderful mentor I ever met. I mean, not only he shares knowledge, but he truly wants the best for us. And he pushes us to reach our full potential and prepare us to thrive in our different careers. So just always be brave about what you're doing, be confident in your capabilities. And I know all you guys will do great things in life. And it's great to meet all of you guys.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much, Mariah. And she's come from um, 60th and Hoover in South LA.
Yeah, South Central, 55th and Central,
Right, and started at an HBCU. Then got a
Hampton
master.
University. Yeah. And
Got
then I
her
got
master.
my master's in from University of San Diego in cybersecurity operations.
Right. And I feel like I've been a part of all that journey. And again, Mariah, one of the reasons why I wanted you to meet this new crew is that we are going to integrate a lot of tech into our training. As a matter of fact, we have a person that I want you to meet at some point. Their name is XIE. And X is somebody that graced us at our podcast last Wednesday on National Apprenticeship Week, and has presented some real great challenges for us. Not just hackathons, but really challenging us to try and make sure that we don't lose any connectivity to the tech part of where the industry is going. So she's a person who's a great resource for all of us to try and be ahead of the curve on where things are going with arts, media, and entertainment. So, Mariah, again, thank you so much for for just saying a few words to the people. And when you're back in LA, please let us know so that we can actually provide a way for us to meet you in person. Okay?
Okay, got it. And
Thank you.
if anyone interested in cybersecurity, I'm here. I'm here as a mentor to help as I continue to learn along the way. It's my duty to teach.
Wow, that's beautiful. All right, and Chris, I think I know you're getting ready to leave us. Another person that I wanted to bring on to talk about just shop before I get to your questions, suggestions, any comments about getting better with the program. Um, Shane, did Shane leave? No, there he is. I wanted to well, I'll set this up if Shane's not available. One of the things that we're doing for the first time is doing fundraising. Dakar has never done a fundraising event in 32 years of our existence. We never asked for money or for mentors or for any resources. And that's got to change because, again, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. And we need those resources to help each and every one of you guys. And I don't know what those needs are. So the second part of this meeting really is to find out what your unmet needs are so that we can figure out how to connect not only your individual needs, but the group needs so that we, again, are attentive to how you guys are matriculating through whatever it is that we're giving you as a program, because this is not really for us a program, it's really real life. So I'd like to have each and every person talk about their unmet needs and any problems or solutions that they can provide for us. But I see Shane back on the line. I wanted to have Shane introduce himself because he is a newly appointed board member. We got to get a few more paperwork signed, but Shane's coming on as a board member for Dakar. And I think that that's one of the greatest gifts that anybody can get as a nonprofit is to get a board member who is there to, basically roll up their sleeves and dig deep for everything that we can actually ask of them. And so I'm really proud of the fact that Shane has taken on this opportunity. So Shane, if you can, as a board member, if you can tell any of the young people, what is it that, we're looking for them to potentially be a board member, not of Dakar, maybe a board member of somebody else's nonprofit, or heck, maybe even start their own nonprofit one day. Because that's what we're all here for, is to really be the best nonprofit organization and apprenticeship program we can be.
Yes, thank you, Kevin. I guess I'll start off with the key word, which is contribution. Contribution. And, what can you put in that will create value that comes out? It's a principle in technology and in programming. They say dirty data in, dirty data out. In other words, you get out what you put in. And when you think about the order and sequence, you must put in first before you can get out. I shouldn't quote General Bray if I don't have the right name, but Kevin, jump in there and help me, or anybody else who knows historically, the famous person who asks, what can I do for my country opposed to what can my country do for me? But JFK, and really that's the essence of contribution, but it's not just the essence of contribution, it's the essence of entrepreneurship. Okay. As an entrepreneur or as a small business owner, the order and sequence is different. You got to put in first. You got to put in first, and what you're putting in is going to help determine what it is that you're going to get out. And I think it's very important that we highlight that this program is a hybrid model, E and E. It's employment and entrepreneurship, both at the same time. And in today's market and climate, it highlights more and more the need for both sides of the equation. So what we want everybody to do is to learn the principles and values on both sides of the equation. You're going to hear a lot of great nuggets of wisdom and how to operate to get in front of employment opportunities. You've already been exposed to experts like Ted Milner and Sachin artists. I mean, just a lot of people have already contributed valuable information from a perspective of lived experience, right? And we're going to continue highlighting more of that on the entrepreneurial side of things too. So just excited to really push a balanced perspective, so that way, you know, we could be prepared to put in what we need to put in positive expectation of getting out what we're going to get out. Now, the cool part about entrepreneurship as well too is when you understand that, it leaves a little bit of room for grace as well. So I'd like to extend grace to Kevin as well, someone who is a major contributor. He's putting in for decades, right? And getting out what is coming out, accordingly, right? And certain things aren't going to be perfect. They're not going to be as well defined yet, but as we continue to go down this process, we'll refine things, we'll further define things, and we can communicate at a better rate to help manage expectations and also manage the desire, the inspiration, and the motivation that will keep everyone doing the do to put in the work, make the contributions, and be confident that what you're putting in is preparing what you're going to get out. So I don't want to belabor the point, but I did want to kind of, cover the fact that we're working on both sides of the fence, and a lot of the systems and the databases and the data sets that we're collecting as we're tracking everyone's journey is us being able to show some proof of concept and proof of commercialization and actualization of income, whether it's job placement or whether it's small, micro gigs of being able to provide a service for a rate of compensation. And the more that we can collect data and track those experiences, it gives us more power. As Kevin is highly connected to all the powers that be. And literally we're pioneering things. We're doing things for the first time in this space. If no one else is going to do it, that's why I applaud Kevin. If no one else is going to do it, we're stepping up to do it. And you guys are playing a major part in that situation. So this is really groundbreaking. It's unprecedented, all the things that we're putting together right now. And I think when you really shine the light on that perspective, it can help everybody remain excited and willing to, jump over the hurdles, go through the obstacles that are placed before you, and get to that pot of gold at the end. So I'll land my plane there.
Okay, great. And what I wanted to do is set this meeting so that we can have a sensitivity session. We can be honest and transparent about what has transpired thus far. But I want to learn more about solutions than problems. But with every conversation, with every sensitivity session, we got to figure out what is it that we have to fix. So I'm going to ask, in no particular order, if Louis can come on and give a brief description of what you think is the way forward or the way ahead, and what you've learned from our conversation from Friday till today.
Okay. Damn. I was not expecting to go first. Well, I mean, from the conversation, basically after our conversation that you and I had, the one-on-one on Friday, I definitely got a better understanding of where we're going with the program and how it's all basically plugging and playing as we're going. Um, from my standpoint, at least from the understanding of where when I initially started with the program and I signed up to it to where I'm at now, I do have a better clarification of how the program is going to be a earn to, I mean, it's like a work to earn type of thing where we got to be doing just as much work based on what we want to get out of it. So that definitely it clarified a lot on Friday when you and I spoke about how it's all going down and what is expected of the team itself. And I did kind of vaguely just tell the team like, hey, get your questions ready or anything that you guys need to get addressed. That you and I did speak and that you were willing to clarify a lot of things that were in the air that we were just as a group collectively kind of wondering and pondering like what's going on with what or what is going where. But for my personal, like, where I stand now, it's like I do have a better clarification of where this apprenticeship program stands with me and where we are be going moving forward. And I'm all with it for everything that comes our way.
Thank you, Louis. Actually, next person, I'm going to ask Torin. Torin, if you could let us see your face and give us your perspective on where we've been and where we need to go and how to get better.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out how I'm going to explain this. But honestly, for me, my perspective as a photographer, I I'm trying to remember the exact number, but I shot a lot of raw photos during the event, and I was just kind of for a while waiting to find out if my stuff was approved or not, so I can edit everything. So just figuring out, I feel like for me, I just wanted like, I guess better communication on how all of that was gonna work and how editing was going to work and everything involving that.
Okay.
If that makes
So
any sense.
what can we do to get better? You said communication. Is there anything else we can do to get better to give you some direction and some participation?
I feel like as someone who like edits my photos and everything, just knowing like what kind of edits we're looking for or just how many photos we're expecting to get out of it because I shot like over 800. So obviously I'm not gonna edit all of those, but
Okay. Um, Anybody that was on the call Friday with Sunny that's on, I'm going to open it up for you guys to try and give us a better, let's say, destination to land, not only to land the plane, but really to how to get this thing off the ground. If we can get a better understanding of what you guys talked about on Friday that we can hear, just unfiltered about what we can do to get better, I'd love to have that, open. Get maybe
Well,
Sunny or CJ.
Yeah, can I?
oh, Keon, go for it. Go for it.
Nah, yeah. Well, first of all, the car foundation. This is just amazing. Oh my God. I just wanted to say that, but I have something to say about what me and Sonny were talking about. When we met up about my charger. I think it was about, I don't know if it was Tuesday or Wednesday or last Thursday or whatever. But basically, we were talking about how we can do something to where and we both could explain this, but we could do something to where we could create events every monthly or whatever to that are checkups basically, where we could have projects and showcase different things that people are doing inside of the program, so that everybody's projects could be showcase everything people are doing so that we could stay updated with that. So that is a constant reminder of it, that also makes people feel heard. It makes them feel seen and acknowledged, really. And wait, hold on, can you guys hear me, by the way? I just wanted to know because my often it makes them feel heard, it makes them feel seen, it makes them feel acknowledged, and that will go forward as far as paying forward that thing that me and you were talking about, as far as we obviously don't have enough time to do literal one-on-ones with every single person in the program. But if we could do something to where we are creating these different events that we can invite board members, so we could invite different people from different programs. We could create a space and an avenue for people of different statures to come in and network and hear about Dakar, hear about what Dakar Foundation is doing, hear what the young people in this program have to offer. And obviously that stretches by us creating different things, us editing different projects. that we talk about. I'm editing a different thing, the 5 minute video right now, which I'm finna finish today. Like it's different things like that that we definitely want to keep heard of, and it makes people feel seen. So Sonny could probably expand a little bit more, but I mean that's kind of what I got from it, and what I think could definitely be good.
Right.
Yeah,
And let me say, Ted, what we're doing now is there was a call Friday that Sonny had with quite a few of the young folks who were a little confused, maybe disenchanted or disenfranchised from what it is that we were trying to do with the program. And I called this meeting to get ahead of any more, confusion about how we can get on the same page. So, with that being said, that with all transparency on the board, that's what we're trying to do is to figure out, what dissent there was and how to get ahead of it. Because I've been here before, and
so Kevin, if I may, just to speak on the transparency of the situation, I think realistically, what it was even for me, I felt as a leader in that situation, um, having close contact with you, I knew exactly what was going on. But relaying that, I think it took so long to get the information out that it caused that confusion and that quote unquote dissent, for lack of better words, because we're just not on the same playing field as far as just dispersing this information. I think what would have been best is for the UCLA Pulse event, we should have had an after action review. We're now incorporating those things into the events that we're doing, which I appreciate, because I realize now that had we had an after action review, we could have discussed the content. How long are people supposed to wait? In regards to what Torrin was speaking on, just to provide a little bit more clarity, all the content with Issa Rae, we were still waiting to see if Jay Tucker was going to let us use it or not. You know what I mean? So for a lot of us, we're sitting on content that we could be editing, but we don't know if it's even going to be utilized. So it's like, do I want to waste my time on something that is a maybe or uncertainty, or should I apply myself to something that is a necessary item for the job at hand? And I think that when it comes to the content creation thing, side of things, I think that I could have been a little bit better at giving people just like ideas and just content to create. But I think at that time within our relationship, we weren't at that level where I knew that like this is where I should have stepped in. So going forward, I think that we should have people who are basically our content liaisons and basically creating these moments and opportunity. And I think given this last meeting that we have of Red, like immediately right after this Red meeting, I told everybody in the group chat, start creating stories, start coming up with reasons for us to be using $100,000 cameras. Like that goes back into the workshop discussion I was having with Keon. You know what I mean? Like we need to be creating moments and opportunities to really utilize all of these great resources that we have access to. If we aren't utilizing these resources, like you said, they're just going to collect dust and be something that is just goes to waste kind of thing. But I think ultimately, creating clear channels of communication and just being direct as possible with people, and getting to them as soon as possible, I think is powerful. And I think that in regards to the internal meetings that we're having on the administrative level, those need to be kind of like sidebars or like fireside chat meetings that we have with everybody else. So that way, once we get the information, we disperse it so everybody else is on the same playing field. Because when we have people way ahead up here and people feel like they're at the back right here, not getting any kind of interaction or information, it just causes a lot of confusion and people are pointing fingers at each other like, bro, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where we have to come together as a team and know that like we're here to service each other. You know what I mean? And it just has to do with those simple conversations as leaders with everybody else a part of the program.
Okay, great. Anybody else have any input from that meeting last Friday that I wasn't a part of? But I certainly want to say that from many meetings in the future, I'd love to be available when you guys are talking about the needs or the disconnects with the program, because I'm kind of the buck stops here guy. I'm the person held accountable.
Yeah, I mean the group chat's on Instagram, so if you wanted to, we could just add you onto that chat because it's like an Instagram group chat.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I don't
yeah,
think that there's anything. There was nothing that would stop me from being a part of anything that you guys are a part of, especially when it comes to Dakar. Yeah, because it is my responsibility and accountability for
any questions to be answered, especially when it comes to your needs. So I know that, again, most of everybody is looking for some incremental um, measurement of their participation showing up in terms of something tangible. And I know finances for me are number one. So when I heard that you guys were looking for compensation, um, that's valid, and it's my intent to make sure that everybody from this day point forward is put into a bucket where we can start to get you onboarded with the financing of your experience. Um, so that is valid. But again, please, if there's any questions, I'm going to leave my cell phone number in the box. If you need to get an answer or a need, please call me because your issues are my issues. If there's a need for some emergency support, that's what I'm here for. And I don't want it to get to the point where you guys are frustrated or disenfranchised and start talking to one another, and I only hear about it after the fact. So from this point forward, my cell phone number, you can call or text me. Please do so. And Ted, do you have any suggestions on how to create better internal communications amongst these guys, rather than just have them talk to me if there's a problem?
Yeah, I have a couple questions, but to the gentleman that spoke before Sonny, he mentioned three things that people need to feel heard, seen, and what was the third one?
I think it was, yeah, heard, seen, and acknowledged.
Appreciate
Really
it, acknowledge, yeah.
appreciate it. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So, I don't have all the answers. I have a lot of experience, but I don't have all the answers. But I do have a question for the group. Is there anyone um, that that is hurting to a point where you feel like you have no answers and you don't know how to move forward and you're extremely frustrated? That has the courage to speak on that.
When you say that, can I ask you, are you saying that as far as, because there's many things, right? Like you could be trying your best and things just not be going your way, right? But are we talking about for the people who literally have no pathway and don't know where to go? Like, are we talking about?
Yeah, that could be included. Absolutely. Did I answer your question?
So guys, you guys, I'm looking for your participation. I don't know who all was on that call, but I think that there are obviously more people on that call who didn't go on this call.
Well, no, Kevin, that call, and just to clarify, and this goes back to communication, that call was just a group chat that we had on Instagram. So it was about 8 people. So I mean, majority of the people are in here. The only people who aren't in here right now are
Melindu.
Heidi and Melindu, and that's about it.
Can I
To be
answer?
clear, though, I was not part of that call. I was unaware of it.
Yeah,
No,
I didn't.
TJ, it wasn't a call. It was a group chat that we're all in on Instagram.
Okay.
Oh,
Is it the card chat that we have?
okay.
Oh yeah.
Right.
No.
So here's what I want to put to bed is that I got two different viewpoints. I got one from Sonny and one from Louis, but what I want is to not make that happen again. So I'd love to be part of the Instagram group chat, but I'd like to have an agenda before you guys meet so that we can actually look at what the objectives are. Then obviously in there we can find some of the problems or challenges or issues to get to the agenda, to get to the issues of not the issues, to get to the stated um, objective, and then work backwards to figure out how we're going to get there. Because if we're because I really think that if people having individual issues, they should talk to me and see what I can do to help. Because if you're talking to somebody who can't help you, I don't know. That's just kind of gossip. because they're not going to be able to help you no matter how much they want to. So listening to your
Kevin, if I could add to that, you know, with our HBCU in LA program, when the students get here, they are all similar to what Sonny said. They're all on a chat and they're all on an Instagram, and they may have things they don't want to say because some of the issue may be the way that the organization's run. You don't want to be in that mix. Trust me, you don't want to be in it.
Okay.
And then you want them to have the freedom to express their frustrations among each other. You know,
Okay.
whoever's leading that group, whether it's Sonny or whether it's Sean, whoever, then when they need to come together and include everyone else, then you can be on those. But as students of Dakar, they should have the freedom where they can speak very freely of their emotions, of their pain, of their frustrations. And then for those things that they want you to hear, it should be a safe zone for them that it doesn't get back, them naming it, but you can hear it, but not naming them, so that they can feel that they're, you know, that they feel seen. That's why I love what he said, because people really need to feel seen, they need to feel heard, and they need to feel acknowledged. I think that's critical for this generation, for this younger generation, to feel like someone's there and someone cares. The other thing, I think that the Instagram, the call you guys had Friday, obviously I wasn't part of that, but I think those conversations are powerful. And I think it's important that you guys communicate with each other, because I think what you don't realize is how powerful you are individually, but more how powerful you are collectively. So I would encourage those conversations, you know, not necessarily on a, you know, 2 or 3 times a week, but weekly or biweekly, you know, so that you guys can get on and someone's going to know something about something that someone else is going to know something about, and it's going to provide opportunity. So, you know, I think that's really great.
I love that. I never thought about having a safe place for you guys to talk internally amongst yourself. But yeah, I support that wholeheartedly.
And just to piggyback off of this conversation and set the playing field, for everybody who's in this call right now, everybody who was in the chat, and this is a safe and open time to just talk about any pain points you've experienced with Dakar, because going forward, like Kevin was addressing, we are trying to eliminate a lot of those pain points. So if you are in a situation where you're like, hey, financially, all these events don't work out for me because, I can't come to these things because I don't have money in my pocket, you got to speak on that, because then for us as Dakar, we're not going to be putting you in those situations. We're going to put you in more occupational opportunities. So for everybody, please take this opportunity to speak on everything. Be honest. Whether it's like, hey, Wyken's leadership was, bad at this point. I'm willing to sit back and listen to you guys as a leader, because I want to be the best leader possible. So right now, please, please, please take this opportunity and just let us know from your experience, what are these pain points? What did we do? What did we do wrong? And what could we do better?
So
Kevin, if I could just add real quick to what Sonny said, like the young lady that's a photographer, that's an amazing gift you have. It's amazing talent. So, if things aren't moving as quickly as you want them to, how do I give my gift away? How do I literally give it away? So let's say you're at an event like the UCLA event, and you took some photos and some video of Jay, and you just shot that to him. Hey, look, I took these pictures. Maybe he puts it on his LinkedIn. Maybe someone else sees his LinkedIn and says, hey, who did your LinkedIn? And then maybe he mentions you, and maybe that leads to you doing someone else's LinkedIn or giving some images or coming shooting an event that they have. There's so many different connections within just life period, but particularly within entertainment and the different things you do when you do events, the people you don't even know that are there that potentially can help you. But what happens is we're holding our talents like this, and then we're putting a price tag on them. And do you deserve to be paid? Absolutely, you deserve to be paid. But right now, who has the money to pay you? So if you were doing something for me and I didn't have the ability to pay you, and let's say you were helping me write a book, and then I sold 10,000 books, I got money to pay you now. So don't always look at, what is the price tag. I don't think you prostitute your talents, but at the same time, you can't sow a seed in someone's life and not get a return. I do think it's important who you're sowing seed to. If someone's going to misuse it and abuse it, you should hold that talent. But if someone needs it and you have the time, sow a seed into their life. And it keeps you busy, keeps your mind fresh, and then there's going to be a return. The challenge we have is, when does that return happen? Does it happen in 3 weeks? Does it happen in 3 months? It should happen within the frame of 9 months to a year, but we don't know when that returns. But I have done that, and I have lived that kind of life where I have given my talents away, and I've sowed seed into people's life. Um, and man, sometimes things are just coming out of nowhere, just in abundance. And so, I'm thankful to God for those opportunities. I mean, I got a call even in between all this that I'm on. I just got a call from one of our clients, and they have people, and they're just giving me the people to employ, and I'm going to make money. It's not even anyone that's in our pool. It's just a gift. So sow seed in people's lives.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you.
Yeah, that was very biblical. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah. Well, I can honestly say that I'm learning even at my old age. I just turned 67 this weekend. That I'm still learning, and I'm hoping to learn more about you guys in particular, so that at the um, end of whatever this program can be, I can say that I left everything on the table. And so there's where I want to go. So Brayton, you had your hand up.
Yes, no pain points on my end. I wasn't involved on the call this past Friday. One thing I've talked to Wyken about is hopefully becoming a full-time accountant for the Descartes Foundation. I think that by utilizing QuickBooks, we can get our payrolls done a lot more efficiently. By we can create financial statements, 1099s, W-2s, all that can be used. And I've also emailed you about my current struggle with the CPA exam, how that could be done. So I really hope not just to learn with the apprenticeship, but also use some of my talents, use the education I have with my master's degree to hopefully help you and Wyken and even CJ in the long term.
Well, that's very gracious of you, Brayton. I appreciate the spirit. Because yeah, this is an apprenticeship program, but for me, it's more than a program. Um, I want each and every person to become a part of, no kidding, a family member. Your pain is my pain. Your success is my success. In my past attempts, I've had people like Mariah who came on. Um, I've seen her grow leaps and bounds. I've had another person on who grew leaps and bounds but didn't appreciate it. So I'm learning from each one of the people that come through the program how to get better myself, and apply that learning to how I can help you guys, become people who can, make $10,000 a month and a salary. So those are the goals that I have, is to make sure that everybody's eating and thriving, and at some point, be able to help your peers, the people you're side by side with, and bringing them along. That's what I'm really hoping, is you guys become force multipliers. So the update part of this now is that I believe the third week in May, I will have a conversation with the Heartbeat folks. We'll have the official launch of the program. But before then, I will be meeting with anybody about where we can plug them into available resources, whether it be financing, um, transportation, reimbursement, clothing, software. There's all kinds of things that you guys can qualify for. But Leo, if you took his email address, he can actually start assessing your needs, and you're matching you up with opportunities. Um, One of the people who is a Brotherhood Crusade vendor, Kevin Nash from Accelerated Radio, he has several slots that have already been provided for him by Brotherhood Crusade, where they're looking for people to come into his program. And so they've offered us some slots for people who have the skills, knowledge, and capabilities to come through Kevin Nash's accelerated radio program, and that offers up an immediate stipend for people under 24. So some of the things that I want to really get started is really figuring out, what can you guys give me so that I can showcase individually who, what, where, why, and how we can help you get on your feet. So I asked about a portfolio piece, a 5-minute piece that would help me get a better understanding of who you are, notwithstanding the stuff that you did at UCLA or Sony or anything else. I just need to have some representation, a digital representation of you guys. And if you need help with that, cutting it up, editing it, that's what we need to know, because if you can put that piece together and tell your story, there's a way for us to accelerate you getting in front of opportunities. But if there's things that you can learn how to do that, it could actually help you with that acceleration process. So this is the time for me to ask you guys for something so that I can actually start to stitch together all these personalities into one cohesive team. Does anybody have a comment about how that feels for them? Because I'm not looking for I'm not looking for a compilation of your experiences through Dakar, but just everything that you can from beginning, middle to where you are now. Does anybody doesn't understand what I just asked for?
In terms of the video itself, what specifications are you looking for?
Well, I'm looking for, and Ted, maybe help me out on this. Do you receive any video resumes from people? Oh, he's on a call. So
No. I'm not on the call. I'm not on the call. I just was muted. No, I don't receive. No, I don't. I receive paper videos.
okay.
I mean paper resumes. But there, some of the studios and networks, they have a tendency to do videos, interviews, but they usually do them in groups, maybe like 8 to 10 people. So, those are kind of funky interviews. They're not as important on the one-on-one. They're just kind of figuring out what everyone wants to do and kind of filling you out. And they might have, usually it's when they have multiple positions. So if they're interviewing 8 to 10 people and they're doing it for a page program, maybe they have 3 people they're going to hire as pages. The biggest mistake that people get on there is they start trying to impress them so they can stand out among everyone else. And usually they wind up talking too much. But for the most part, to answer your question, people are still receiving PDFs and resumes, physical resumes via email.
So what I wanted to do to end this, guys, I'm going to show you a sample of what the previous cohort of apprentices did for me to give me some video testimonial. You guys can't give a testimonial because you haven't been through the program yet. But what it was just a way for them to authentically talk about who, what, where, why, and how they've come through the program. And in a perfect world, I would have asked them at the beginning of their experience to tell me what those things were. They just told me what those things kind of concluded. So I'm going to show you some of the things that Mariah, JP, and Damone did that will help me better leverage what I eventually would like to do is match you up with an economic opportunity. Because I think a lot of people have skills, knowledge, and capabilities to do things, but people sometimes need a little bit of polish in how they present themselves, how they compose all the things that, again, represent the things that they are, but haven't really done so in a storytelling way. So for everybody, I would hope that if they can't, meet this challenge, they can tell us so that we can help you get there, because that's what we have this program really for. Voice, video, and data, manipulating that. Anybody have any questions before I show you some samples? Okay, so I'm going to share screen here. And what I asked these guys to do is to just send these back to me within 24 hours. So they didn't have, weeks, days to think about it. They just turned their cameras around, and in one shot, they were on camera telling me a little bit about how they, how they felt and what they, would hope to do. So let me see if I can find these guys here for you. And this is for Keon. Keon is actually working on his right now. And I don't want to know how to editorialize or do anything, but I'm looking for your best efforts so that we can actually even talk about it. Oh, I got to put this sound up.
I got the phone. And I was like, what things can I do?
So one of the things I'm looking for, and I'm willing to pay somebody right now to help me administratively when I set up these meetings. Okay, here we go. I think this is compilation JP, maybe so.
Lasagna. We all love lasagna.
You did excellent. Okay.
Hello.
Maybe a little bit of truffle on the top or something. I mean, lasagna. Anyway, keep going.
Hello, everyone. My name is JP. I'm an apprentice under Kevin Clark in the Dekar Foundation. I'm actually graduating today, so. My role, I assist Mr. Clark with cinematography and editing for any of his projects that he'd like to bring me out to, especially coming out to SCAN events and being a panelist and answering questions and trying to connect with you all as well as everyone else that is trying to get into apprenticeships. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Well,
let me stop this. Well, this is not the compilation that I asked you to put together. Let me stop this. But that's one of the things that is culminating for all you guys. So this was the this is what I want you guys to kind of envision. At some point, I want to have a end state where you guys are graduating with a certificate. There's an accounting for all the money that you've earned and all the things that you've learned, again, culminating in a certificate. And hopefully that gives you a chance to be placed somewhere. So I was fortunate that JP is now an EMT. He still wants to be, in the entertainment industry, but he's gainfully employed as a 23-year-old EMT. Mariah, who's on the call, she's gainfully employed as a person in cybersecurity IT. And Damone is an editor that's working on a 1099 with me. Those were the three apprentices. So those are the end states. But now I'm trying to see if I can get you guys to understand what the beginning state is of your journey and how different that beginning state could be from your end state is up to your imagination and all the things we can do to help, put slides and graphics and experiences in front of you so that we don't have anything left to the imagination. So let me see if I can find, let's see here, Jamal Williams. There it is. Anybody have any questions while I'm fumbling around looking for this stuff? Anybody?
So about this video in general, how long should it be? And what are like the main bullet points that you want us to talk about?
Okay, well, if truth be told, I'm not really looking for me to, I really want you guys to tell your own story in the way that you can based on where and who you are now, because I don't know that much about you. I've not seen anybody's work. I've seen you show up, and that's a great part of it. But this is like starting from the beginning. So
okay. So what I would suggest for you guys, sorry, Louis, you can go.
So what I'm understanding is basically like a mini self POV kind of video of like where we are now and where we're coming from type of deal?
Yes.
Well, I think what I would like it to be is something that would give me an opportunity to match you up with where you are in your development to get to a place where I can start to say, hey, maybe we can use this as a template, but we can add more stuff onto it because I don't know when these opportunities are going to arise for somebody who can be a production assistant or, a cameraman or a graphic artist or an admin. So I don't really know how to help you tell your story, but it should be something that shows some self awareness and some self determination about where you want to be.
So if I may, I would just suggest everybody treating this like Kevin was initially saying, like a video portfolio, right? So I would start off. So like the way I'm going to start off mine is like me and CJ always talk about the Spider-Verse. So I like Miles Morales when he's telling his story. Hey, I'm your local neighborhood Spider-Man. You've heard this story so many times, but I have a very similar story with like my dad being a firefighter captain, him losing him, and then starting my journey of helping people and creating. So that's where I'm tying it in. But I'm telling that story from literally start of like me owning a camera to like now with the car kind of thing. Like how do you basically get somebody to buy into your story, buy into you as an artist, you as a creative? What makes you passionate? What are you really passionate about, and why are you passionate about these things? Basically, in 5 minutes, tell us who you are, what you do, and why that matters.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you. So let's take a look at this. Hopefully this is Damone's.
So SIGGRAPH. So I was here on Monday. I was unfortunately not able to make it yesterday, but just based on what I've experienced that day and then also today, it's just to be here is such an amazing opportunity. Never in my life have I thought that I would be at a convention to where I will be in the same room as some of the biggest people in the entertainment industry. The career, the thing that I am most passionate about, to be able to work on a podcast with my fellow apprentices, the Dakar Foundation, to be able to be in that setting so I can learn. Because of course, just like everyone else here, I'm here to learn.
Part of one pathway is continuing to practice your craft, working with friends, building up a portfolio of work that shows people what you can do, and building out your network of contacts so that you get opportunities to do that and get paid for it by somebody else. Another pathway is to think more entrepreneurial about it. Think about how you can create experiences where you get to connect directly with the customer, right, with the audience, with the fan, and how you do that to kind of directly create business opportunities for yourself. Sometimes that may be that you put on a performance of something that is sponsored by a third party. So instead of saying, oh, I'm going to go work for Disney, you're saying, well, I'm going to go do this thing and Dove Soap or Adidas or somebody is going to actually write the check to make this thing possible, and then you're going to get some piece of that.
A brief summary of the last 70 years of computing. We come to the heart of the question that we're going to be exploring today, which is, what can information be? And is there a richer way to represent the richness of the world?
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm here with Jara LaChica and Carrie D'Souza from SIGGRAPH Asia. Thank you guys for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
So, can you tell us about SIGGRAPH Asia, where it's located and what your roles are?
Yeah, sure. I've been working with SIGGRAPH Asia for like 10 years now. Senior project manager. And this year, SIGGRAPH Asia is going to be in Sydney, Australia. It's a second time in Australia, so everyone's pretty excited. Post-COVID, I think SIGGRAPH Asia being in Australia is the perfect place to go to. My name is Jara LaChica, and it's like my
Hey guys, I'm going to stop this for a second. I've aired again. This is not the testimonial. This is just a review done by my editor, Damone. This is some of his work, but it's not his best work because we don't have the editing. We don't have the audio in this thing, so this doesn't do any justice. I'm going to try one more time because I think his testimonial is only a couple of minutes. Let's see if I can find that on it. Oh, here it is. Okay. Only a minute.
Hello, my name is Simone Williams Jr., and for the past year and a half, I've been an apprentice for the Dakar Foundation. During that time, I've sat through many Zoom calls, helped shoot at different events, edited dozens of videos, and spent countless hours on the road. I got the apprenticeship through a professor at my university who introduced me to Kevin Clark, who started me off my first event, the AME conference at Warner Brothers.
Wait, can you guys see the video?
Can you guys see
No,
it?
no, Kevin, we can't see the video. You gotta share the video again
Oh,
with us,
boy.
please.
All right, cool. I thought I was the
Okay.
only one that's gonna see this.
Wait a minute. It's only 1 minute and 9 seconds. Okay, let me stop it.
Privilege to
Sorry about
meet
that,
a
guys.
lot of interesting and talented people.
Let me make sure the audio is up. Yeah. Man, that's terrible, man. When you can't get to the place where you understand what your limitations are. And I can't do Zoom calls like this anymore. I definitely would be looking for somebody to help me with these Zooms. There was a Zoom meeting yesterday that I attended where they had a person that was doing slides and audio. I think there are 2 or 3 people, and I couldn't dream of something, that would be more powerful than that, than somebody helping me, making sure that.
Well, let me ask this right now. Of us in this call, who's interested in taking up that mantle? Because, like I said, that's something that's necessary, and you will be, compensated for your time. So, who wants to take the opportunity right now while it's on the table? Any volunteers?
I mean, helping out with the administrative help.
Okay, I didn't hear. Who was that?
It was me. I said, you mean the question is who can help out with the administrative work?
Well, in particular, Zoom calls. Because, they're typically no longer than an hour. This one's going over. But I'm looking for someone to help produce the Zoom presentations.
Oh.
If
So
anybody
that would
has any
be
experience,
a team of people.
bringing
I
in
would be open to it.
I would.
Okay, share sound. We got it. Okay.
That was me. I'd be open
Okay.
to it.
Yeah, because I really need that help, because one of the things that I realize is that some of the people who can help the program, they're not going to be very forgiving if we don't look professional at the very outset of what we're trying to do with them. And I can tell you that trying to bring these people on like Ted or Leo or anybody else, and then trying to make sure that all our slides are in order and all of the videos and anything in the group chat, it really does take more than one person trying to do that. Well, some people can do all of it, but I can't. So I need people to help me specifically with Zoom, and then there's some other administrative things I could probably use. So that's a big need, and I don't want to go another day without it.
Hello, my name is Simone Williams Jr., and for the past year and a half, I've
I wouldn't mind it.
for the
Okay,
Dakar
listen.
Foundation. During that time, I've sat through many Zoom calls, helped shoot at different events, edited dozens of videos, and have spent countless hours on the road. I got the apprenticeship through a professor at my university who introduced me to Kevin Clark, who started me off at my first event, the AME conference at Warner Brothers and Woodbury University. My time as an apprentice since then has had its ups and downs. One of those downs, of course, being the absolutely torturous LA traffic. On the plus side, I got the privilege to meet a lot of interesting and talented people along the way. JP, Mariah, fellow Matador Reyna, Shane, Shoni, and many more, all of which I hope to go on to do great things. I don't know what the future looks like for me, but I'm grateful to Kevin and Professor Piersimoni for the opportunities I've had thanks to this internship. Thank you for your time.
Okay, so that was a 1 minute testimonial. But again, I'm looking for you guys who haven't worked with me. Who haven't worked with me to build some type of piece, story that can give me a chance to leverage your work. So that was 1 minute and 9 seconds. Does anybody, I'm just going to go around the room. Sienna, do you think there's something that you'd like to, do you need any help with? Do you think something that you could do about introducing yourself to the program?
if I need any help doing that.
Yeah, completing it. Like
Mm.
getting it done by Friday.
I can do that by Friday. So, but is there like, I'm already trying to organize my thoughts, what I would put in there, because I feel like I have a lot to say and I'm trying not to make it too long. That will probably be my biggest challenge, not to make it too long, to be like, to make it really
No, we can
precise.
talk one-on-one afterwards, but just, is there something that we can do to help you produce this? Because I'm just randomly going across the board to see if people.
Like, do you need access? Do you need access to editing software? Do you need a camera?
Oh,
Is there?
I would like, if you don't mind, I would do it with my phone,
Yeah,
unless
that's what I'm asking everybody to do with their cell phone at the
yeah.
very least.
And editing shouldn't be a problem. Like, if I would use CapCut probably to edit that. And if I could send it to somebody, maybe when it's finished, to get some feedback, that would be awesome.
Okay. Feedback is good, but I would like you to submit what you have, because that's really who and what you are at this stage. Because that's what I'm going to use as a composite of what you are in the timeline of what we're doing to introduce ourselves to one another. So whatever you can do.
So you already.
Yeah, so I don't need to finish. I don't need to have kind of a group thing. I just need everybody individually to give me something, and I'm going to actually make a placeholder so everybody's face and name, and when you click on it, this is who you are. I'm not sure if I'm going to format it so that it's a minute long or 2 minutes long. It could be whatever it is people think that they could put in there, and then I'm going to recommend that it's not too much, but it's just enough to introduce you to our world, our network of people that are here to help you. So, Brayton, you think you can get something done like that by Friday?
Absolutely. There's a lot of content that Sunny and I have filmed. I guess the biggest challenge would be, like Sam mentioned, just making sure that I can press it all within 5 minutes. But I should probably have it done to you by this Friday. No problem.
Okay. Louis.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can get it done by Friday. It seems pretty solid, so I'm pretty sure I can whip something up.
Okay. Torin, let me see your face while you answer this question. Do you think you could put something together? And it could be just a slideshow of photographs.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm probably gonna incorporate photos in mine. Would it just be photos from like things we've done for Dakar, or like
your entire
just your entire life? I mean, what you can do is your workforce timeline of what you've done, what you have exposed yourself to, and what you can challenge yourself to show, hey, this is who I am. This is my capabilities.
Yeah, I think I know what to do. I can definitely get it done by Friday.
Does anybody need any further clarification on what is expected as far as like the video format? Because it sounds like there's still a little bit of confusion. So I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page.
So I have a couple questions. Kevin, where's it gonna live, and then what do you want to do with this? What are you trying to accomplish?
The first thing,
giving you a video.
Yeah, I envision having it as an internal storyboard of who my apprentices are, because I have other people who have yet to be onboarded that I want you guys to set the standard for. There's people who are at Cal State Northridge, Cal State LA, who haven't heard that this is the requirement that they're going to have to do. So I'm looking for you guys creating being the standard bearers for creating a testimonial about who, what, why, and how you want to be impactful in this apprenticeship program.
So then what would be your time? What would be your desired time frame of that recording? Would it be a 2 minute? Would it be a 5 minute?
Yeah, I said 5 minutes like last week. I said
5 minutes is a long time, Kevin.
I know, and I just saw Damone's in 1 minute and 9 seconds. I say 2 minutes max. But ideally, it could be, whatever you guys could think it could be. But Ted, what do you think? A minute?
No, I think 2 minutes is safe. Some people got a lot to say. Not that they need to do all that, but I'm almost there. But what I mean, for what I think Kevin wants to use it for is he needs a snapshot of who you are and what are your passions. It doesn't necessarily need to know your childhood, because I think the ultimate goal is to use this information to try and employ them. Is that correct, Kevin?
Correct. to get you to your.
Okay, so if that's the case, then I think you want to take it kind of from where you are currently, and give them a snapshot of who you are, so that if he's pitching you to someone, if you were sending it to me, I'll speak it that way. Then I have an understanding of who you are as a person and where to pitch you for. So, two things I would say. Number one, if Kevin asks you, can you have this done by Friday? Your answer is just yes. It's not I'll try. It's not I'll see. It's yes. And if you don't do it, you don't do it. But when you're standing in front of employers and employers ask you that and you pause them, they're going to pause on you. So treat him kind of like he's an employer because he's trying to help you. It doesn't take you that long to do a 2-minute video to send to him. You don't need to meditate on that for 2 hours. It's real simple. You know, they just need a snapshot of who you are. Secondly, and then Sonny, I'll give you the mic. If you're interviewing with someone, they don't need to know all that you're going to give them in the video. And Kevin can bring me on at another time if you guys really want to know some key points about interviewing. But you don't have to tell your whole life story at one time. It's a lot like dating. You know, I mean, it's like a guy goes out with a woman and they're on the first date, and she's telling you from where she's been to where she's going to her whole life and her whole future, or vice versa. And the guy's telling you everything that he wants in life, and by the time you get done, you're just exhausted. You don't need to know that he wants 5 kids, because you may not even want 5 kids. Why are you telling her that? So it's the same thing with employment. You tell them what they need to hear, what they actually need to hear, and hopefully what they want to hear. If you do that, you know, you usually will be considered. Go ahead.
Okay, great.
And thank you, Ted, for saying that. And just to piggyback off of that real quick, it's to the point of being concise. The one thing I wanted to offer to you guys is please use ChatGPT to create a script for you guys. I think that for someone like myself, I tend to yap a lot, and I will definitely go on a tangent. So in regards to hitting this time requirement and keeping it under the line, I would definitely just consider writing a script, you know, digesting as many phrases as you can, and then pause and then continue, pause and then continue. But like, you know, think of it, if you're a musician, you know what I mean? It's like cutting in. So just think of it like that, and just go from there.
Okay, great. CJ, any thoughts about can you get that done for us in 2 minutes?
Yes, sir. But I'm not gonna lie, I have to call Sonny out. I do want his collab. I gotta use that Osmos Pocket 3. I'm not gonna lie, my guy.
Okay, we can shoot it today. Come over right now. We'll shoot it.
Okay.
Big bet. Let's get it.
And Keon, because we're running out of time here. Keon, I asked Keon for a 5-minute piece. Is there any way you can cut yours down to 2 minutes? Give me a 2-minute. Give me the 5-minute version. I want to see your masterpiece, but can you do me a 2-minute piece?
No, yeah. I'll be able to definitely cut it down, and just have and I'm not gonna have it by Friday, it'll be like today or tomorrow. So.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Kayla, okay. Any help you need on it? But can you give us a snapshot of who, what, where, and how you're going to eventually be kicking some butt in this industry?
Yes. I could do it. I mean, I'm willing to do it. I'm just thinking if it's simple, but I'm trying to see how I can manage to work on that and just edit it and add things that I've done. It might be screenshots. Yeah, I'm willing to put that together. If I need help, I might need
Don't
help.
hesitate to reach out to me.
I might need help, but I can also let my brother know because he loves to make videos. So he can do his, I help him, and then he can help me with mine, but I also reach out to just
I want Benko to do one also. Yes, I want both you.
He loves to do those things. So I'll ask him to shoot it with me, or like help me with that. But I might need help at least to have some comments on how I did.
The comments will come after you've done it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll it. I'll do it, and I'll work on it and try to do as best as I can.
Right. And Michelle, I know who you are. Can you tell me if you can put one together for me? Because you have all that augmented VR reality stuff.
And Kayla, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. And then if later, if your brother's not available and later he says, listen, I really want to do something really great, then you just do another one and resend it and he'll use that one over the other. So don't stress out over it. It's just information that's gonna go to Dakar only.
Okay.
Hey, so yeah, I have a 1 minute pitch video that I did for the city of Inglewood. So I could send that over. It's like 1 minute and 11 seconds. I also have a minute and something video for a VR project I already did for the Carter G. Woodson historic site. So I can send those over. But I was wondering, where should I send them?
Okay, I'm gonna give you. I put in the chat box my cell phone number if anybody needs to reach out to me by phone or text or email. See if you can find it in there. Is anybody not able to find? I'll put it in there again just in case. But yeah,
Okay,
I'm
thank you.
looking.
Yeah, please drop that in
Yeah,
again.
but I'm looking for that well before Friday. And if you can't, send it about you, not about your work as much, about you, who you want us to know, and so we can leverage that. The very first person I'm going to send it to is the my partner at Heartbeat Studios, because he's been on a Zoom call with so many people, but you know how I'm going to get him to look at everybody and their skills, knowledge, and capabilities is through that video. And then obviously all the other stuff, your portfolio of work and everything else will fold underneath. And that's kind of what I'm looking for is really to allow that video to speak, volumes about where you are in the ability to tell a story or to work on a story. That's going to be key. Is how do you start from where you are right now?
Okay,
And
sounds good.
I'm asking everybody to do something I've never done for myself. So I'm really looking forward to these. And let me see, did I miss anybody? Okay. So let's check back in. If I have let's say Wednesday by 5 p.m., if I can have in my email box at Kevin Clark at Dakar Foundation, if I can have either in a YouTube video, I don't want a .mov or .mp4. I want it in a compressed version, either on YouTube or Vimeo. That's what I like. I don't want raw video. Does anybody have a problem with that? Everybody, raise your hand if you don't know what I'm speaking about.
Oh, wait, so you want everything on Wednesday instead of Friday?
Well, I want to get a spot check because the people who can do it, like yesterday, I'm gonna think a lot more about your capability to help me. I asked for Friday because I have a meeting Friday with some people. So I really needed like yesterday, but I said Friday because I'm meeting with these people. So
Okay.
let's move up the date. The deadline for this is Thursday because I need it for Friday.
Wednesday.
Okay.
Thursday by 5 p.m. But if people get it in early, I just want to know, who's about that life.
Got you. And Kevin, if I may, I just want to give out for our Valley crew, this is an open invite to come over to my house today to use the Osmo Pocket 3 if you want to film it. I'll be working on my video right now, so if you guys want to come over, this is an open invite. I will be producing content for this all day. So if you want to take advantage of that and knock out your content same day as me, now's the time.
Will you
bring my dog?
What's up?
Go for it, Torn.
I was just gonna say, will you be doing that tomorrow just because I have a shoot in like in a couple
I can't do it tomorrow because Tuesdays I work in DTLA, so I'm going back down to Los Angeles tomorrow, like early in the morning.
Okay.
And just to let you guys know again, everybody that's 24 and under, I'm going to be checking to figure out when we can start putting your timesheets together. And that includes everything that we did at UCLA, any of the stuff that we did at UCLA and Ford. UCLA and Ford, we will be using those. So if people did 7, 8 hours, whatever it is that you did, we'll have timesheets for it for UCLA moving forward. Sony wouldn't qualify, but UCLA, and then the people who worked on the National Apprenticeship Day event, if you're under 24, I'm going to be using those hours also for everything you did. That's Keon and I think CJ. So we have a total of 160 hours. And I'm going to try and bump that up. Right now it's $17.88 an hour, but I think it's going to be $20 an hour if we go through the Accelerated Network Kevin Nash program. So, but nonetheless, the timesheet will start to come into play. And then I'm going to be offering bonuses for anybody who can help me on Zoom and any other things that we can work on. So if you email or text me, let's talk about what my needs are. And I can figure out an hourly rate for folks to help me out. Okay? Anybody have any questions, suggestions, or comments before we break contact?
Yes. Oh, sorry. Go first. Go first.
Just a question about the onboarding process, especially because I'm not under 24. When do you think I could receive those documents so that I can send you everything you need?
Well, I've got you sent them to me this weekend. I just didn't get to them. So let me
No, that's the thing. I didn't send you any documents yet because you told me that you would send me an onboarding document to upload everything.
Oh, you didn't receive it. Okay, so I got
anything.
I'm sorry. My bad. I will send them to you as soon as I get off the call. It's an onboarding document, and I'm going to send that onboarding document that you send back to me to the people at the South Bay Workforce Investment Board. Okay? And that will help to include you into it's called the Department of Apprenticeship Standards DAS database for us to have you to give you a W-2 position. Now, since you're over 24, I may not have any work for you until I have work for you, but I'm still willing to pay you out of my pocket 1099 for anything we could do, maybe administratively on the Zoom.
Yeah, I would love to help you if I can for any of your needs. Yes.
Okay. But all the other people, we still need you to be in the database so that we can put you into the employment training reimbursement pool of money if you're over 24, like Louis and I think Kayla, so we can start to figure out ways to give you opportunity to help us earn our keep. Okay? I think Torrin, are you over 24?
Yeah, I'm 26.
Okay, so yeah, we'll have some for those people over 24. Want to make sure that you guys give me an opportunity to figure out how I can plug you in to some work, but the employment training reimbursement is going to start this Friday. And so if it goes beyond that, then call me back if we need, gas money or whatever it is, so I can make sure you guys get that. And then you'll have to reimburse me when we're ever able to pay you out of employment training reimbursement, because I'm going to count those hours as hours against employment training reimbursement. But I'm willing to pay anybody right now who needs the gas money to go ahead and making sure that we get that done. So I can either do Cash App. I prefer Cash App right now. I had a little problem with my Zelle, and you'll just have to reimburse me the money when we start putting you on employment training reimbursement as an employee of Dakar Foundation. Okay? Any questions, suggestions, comments before we break? Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. This was a really productive meeting for me. I hope it was for you guys. Talk to you later.
Likewise.
All right. Bye-bye.